What's up, guys? It's Saber from the neighborhood, coming back at you with another attack strategy video. I apologize for the delay in this video coming out. It's been about 3 or 4 days since I last posted, and that's mainly just because I've been traveling, adjusting to a new country, and so obviously it's been difficult for me to put out new content. But today we're going to be talking about a pretty cool combo attack that's, as I'm sure some of you have been seeing, covered all over YouTube, and some of our guys have done a nice little new twist on it, I guess. So what we're going to be talking about today is the Yeti Blimp attack in combination with Miners and Hogs. And this is a really powerful attack strategy, so let's go right to the drawing board and show you how this should be planned. Alright guys, so let's look at this. So the first thing we should talk about here is the Yeti Blimp. So I'm sure many of you have seen in other YouTubers' videos that the basic function of the Yeti Blimp, which I'm going to do in a pink color, will be to take out the town hall. So the Yeti Blimp is going to come in from this angle, and its goal is just basically to get that town hall. That is its sole purpose, and with a single rage spell and a couple of Yetis in there, you get very similar value that you might get with an Electron or a Yolotron style attack for much less spell space, and that's basically the goal of this. Now, what you follow it up with varies significantly, but currently in the meta, the hottest attack strategy is the combo attack between Miners and Hogs. And so the basic way to do that attack is you want to set a pretty clear funnel and then basically move the troops down the center of the base. It's very similar to funneling dragons or electro dragons. Miners kind of work the same way because they're part of this composition. So let's talk about how David decided to choose that strategy for this base. Well, he used the Yeti Blimp first, and so at that point the town hall is down and he's cleared out the thing that usually takes away your warden ability. So then he needs to think to himself, how can I path these troops? What can I do? So at this point in the raid, he kind of has, this is gone, let's say, but everything else is still left. And so he hasn't really done any funneling with the blimp in this case, which isn't the best value, but it is going to work out for him. So let's talk about this. He's going to start with a queen charge, which I will put in purple, up at the top here, and he's going to walk her basically down, around, and in a little bit. And what that's going to do is I'm going to draw in black here. I use as our guardrails, our bars, right? That's going to kind of whack out all of this stuff, right? And that is going to give him the ability to have sort of a topside guardrail for his troops. So then the next question is, all right, well, how does he funnel them even further? Well, he's going to use his Barbarian King, and he's going to drop it right where the queen leaves off, sort of up here. And he's going to walk that king down, and it actually, in this case, makes it all the way around the edge. And so what that's going to do is basically create its second guardrail, right? So now we have a guardrail over here as well. And what you can see is that is going to basically provide a pathway for these troops right down into the center of the base. So then you can follow with your Miners and Hog push, which I will put in yellow, down the center of the base with your Warden and your Royal Champion. And then basically rage and heal as necessary, because those two in combination, the Miners take out all the trash and the Hogs take out everything else. The only hitch is really that you may have to kind of poison the CC as it comes out, but you're betting that the Miners can deal with that, and anything that's huge in the air typically gets taken out by the Queen on the way she walks on the edge. So that's basically the plan for this raid. Now let's go to the actual replay to see how it was executed. Alright guys, so now that we've seen the drawing board and the planning, let's watch the execution of this raid by Equanimity. So as we talked about, you're going to see the Yeti Blimp come in first. In this case, he drops a couple of balloons first so that it draws the sweeper fire, as well as kind of just avoiding those troll Teslas. Now, this was a trapped town hall, so this was a good use of the blimp. He does lure the CC, and he draws a whole bunch of traps out as well. So now he's going to start with the queen walk, queen charge, whatever you want to call it, because it does kind of go in a little bit. And the CC is going to walk over. He's going to use a baby dragon to break the ring, and then he's going to use the Barbarian King to walk the edge, as we talked about. As the queen is working through the CC, this baby dragon's still knocking out things, and we're just waiting now for the king to go down, and we're starting to set our funnel. It's going to take a little bit of time, but it's really important with this hybrid attack strategy to set the funnel. So now the king is down, he's working his way around the edge. The queen will sort of walk her way down and in a little bit. The CC has been dealt with, and once the king gets all the way around the edge, you're going to see the Miners and the Hogs with the Royal Champion and the Warden walk down the center. There they are now. Miners come in first to tank, then Hogs behind to shoot for the defenses, and the Warden is wrapped around all of them. The Champ is working along the edge to make sure they stay in. Look how great that King is funneling too. I mean, he's going to take out a couple of defenses along the edge that could have drawn away the Hogs. The Queen, unfortunately, is going to go down now, but in doing so, her healers will transfer to the center. He still has the Warden ability, which he's going to pop any second now, I imagine, because that's what you do when your troops begin to split. There it is now. So those healers are going to tank a little bit with the Inferno there, but he still has a lot of troops up, right? And they're pathing cleanly through this base. The group stayed mostly together, which was good, a testament to his funneling skill. That King is still walking around the edge, providing funneling this entire raid. So that was a really great value for the King. He still has his Royal Champion ability that he's going to have to pop here soon. The enemy Queen goes down to a combination of the Warden, the Miners, and the Royal Champion. Here comes the Royal Champion's ability, knocking out everything except for that single target Inferno, and at this point the base is smacked. So this is a really powerful attack strategy, and we will watch the rest of this little bit of cleanup here, and then we'll go back to the drawing board and check out a second version of this attack that has a little bit more of high-level strategy. Alright folks, so here we are back to the second attack in this video, and this is a base that is absolutely ripe for the Yeti Smash, not the Yeti Smash, the Yeti Blimp and hybrid strategy, and here's why. So we're going to start again with our Blimp, right? And Blimps are good for taking out the Town Hall, so I'm going to put that in pink. Blimp comes in, takes out the Town Hall, and now that that Blimp is doing death damage, what you're also going to see is it does a little bit of ring breaking and funneling for the second level as this attack starts. So in black, I'm going to cross out a couple of buildings. Here and here go down from the Blimp damage and a combination of the Yetis, as well as this Town Hall basically, and this ring essentially is broken. So there's now a hard line of funneling that's done right there. So that was a good use of the funnel. Of the Blimp as well. It kind of did two tasks. It took out the Town Hall, saving that Warden ability, and also we now have a funneling layer there. I'm going to show you now why that funneling layer is important. We're going to start with our baby dragon, right? Our baby dragon is going to go on the top here, and he's just basically going to break the ring. So he's going to knock out like this building. That's basically it. And we're going to see on the very top, around 12, the Queen is going to walk basically the same thing she did last raid, where she's coming down and walking the edge and just sort of walking down, right? Maybe she goes in a little bit at the end, but it's not that big a deal. The King here is really going to do a lot of work, and that's why it was so important that the Blimp death damage knocked out a couple of these buildings. The King is going to start right next to the baby dragon. He's going to end up walking all the way down, right? And then because that ring is broken there, right, as we talked about down there, he's actually going to bounce back up and then into this compartment and keep moving along the edge where the Town Hall was. And what that does, if we now think about where our guardrails are, right? If we zoom in a little bit here, we have a hard line guardrail right here, right? That's everything to the right of that the Queen is taking out. And then we've also just made a guardrail basically right here as well, where everything the King is taking out. And you can see, I mean, you may as well have a giant pathway straight through the center of the base. There's absolutely nothing else to do. And so that's what's going to happen. I'm going to put them in yellow. Our main assault force is going to come in on the top there and just basically waltz their way down into the center of the base. Rage, heal, Warden ability is necessary. But that was a really, really high-level funneling, and because the funneling was done so well, this attack was an absolute overkill. So that's what we're going to see here, and let's go watch the raid now. All right, folks, so we are back to the replay area, and let's watch this attack. So first things first, as we talked about, we are going to see a couple of balloons come down with that battle blimp. The combination of the blimp's bombs and its death damage is going to knock out a couple of those buildings there, as we talked about, breaking that ring effectively, and the Yetis take down the Town Hall and a couple of the defenses inside that perimeter there. They also draw the CC, which is very important because it essentially functions as a lure for the Queen, which has already started her walk around the edge at the top. So the Queen is basically going to shoot a couple of these buildings, and because of the distance between that top Dark Elixir drill and the Elixir pump, he knows his Queen is not going to walk towards the 9 o'clock side. She's going to continue to walk right to the 3 o'clock side. So while she's dealing with the CC, we're going to see the baby dragon go down next. There it is now. And then we're going to see the Barbarian King begin his walk around the edge. And as we mentioned, if you look down there, you see how that ring is broken, and you see how the King will eventually hit this gold storage that I'm selecting, and then end up walking back up to the Dark Elixir storage, which is a really, really great second level funnel. The Queen is working her way down. She's picking off all of the edge defenses, and I hope you guys can start to see now how that funnel has been erected, basically. That funnel's pretty clean, and there's nowhere for those troops to go but directly down the center. So in come the miners, and in come the Hogs behind them. The king is now going to walk back up and around, and that's going to provide additional funneling, so they stay right down in that center pathway. They go right through those scatter shots, infernos, and eagles, and that's really the meat and potatoes of this base, the real tough defensive portion. And he still has a couple of rage spells, and he still has his world champion ability, so that should get him through the center pretty easily. That king is providing additional funneling very cleanly along the edge. We still have a queen up and running, and the champion still has not used her ability, so we're going to keep, just keep watching here. But look at this. I mean, this is a really strong attack, and it moves very fast, and if you funnel properly, you can absolutely steamroll bases, as we're seeing here, right? He still has a bunch of miners left, still a couple of hogs left. The champ has not had to use her ability. All 4 heroes nearly full health, and he has cleanup just basically waiting to come down here. This was absolutely steamrolled, and a great attack by David. But that's basically all we're going to have for today. So I appreciate you guys watching as always. If you enjoy our content, please like and subscribe. We recently just hit 100 subscribers, so we're really pumped about that milestone, having only started doing this seriously for about a month. So if you do enjoy this content and you want to support the channel, please do like and subscribe. It really does matter to us, helps us put out new content. And thanks again for watching. This is Saber from the Neighborhood signing off. Thanks and have a great day.